as we load up into the game, and we're going to be on another map which I've never casted. I think this is probably going to be the final map that I haven't casted out of all the new maps. Actually, no, I haven't casted Dash and Terminal, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to anytime soon. I really don't see that going through. Ask Moro was AFK when I was trying to find a game, so we weren't able to get into his game, because he was one of the people I was looking for. So, again, we're into this game now. We've got ourselves a game. I'm sure we'll see a lot of these kind of fan-favourite players later on in the qualifier, because, again, we've got a lot of games to get through. This is a round of 256 game. We have to get all the way through to the round of 4. So we've got quite a way to go. In the bottom left corner of the map from Cascade, we're going to be introducing our red Terran player here, and it is going to be Cass. And his opponent in the upper right hand corner of the map from Red Blood's Academy. We just saw 2 Red Bloods play in our previous best of 3. This is going to be another Red Bloods player, this time from the Academy. The Orange Protoss. It's FightingFrog. So here we are on Moonlight Madness, one of the new maps to the map pool here in Season 3 of the ladder. And what a map it is. I mean, 2 entrances in towards your main base. It's a little bit crazy. Of course, you've got these rocks over here, which are only 500 health, so you can get rid of them pretty quickly. And you've got, you know, there's rocks to defend this kind of way, you know, around your main base anyway. So for anyone to actually get over here, it's going to be... you know, it's going to take quite a while to get over into this position and come in from this direction. And I wonder if that means you should take... where do you actually take your natural? I guess you can take it here or down here. I guess down here is the more standard position, but like up here might be more protected early on because of the rocks. I'm not sure. I mean, again, not really seen many games on this on these maps at all. So will be interesting to see how players decide to kind of play these maps out and see where, you know, how things are going to go and so on. Other people barely hear the in-game music. Oh, I don't know. Cool. Alright, so we've got a SCV coming across the map here from Cass, just going to scout early on. It's a Reaper opening from him, and we're not seeing anything ridiculous right now. And yeah, this SCV just going to come in, scout out what's going on. It's just a single gas expand here. FightingFrog is going to drop his natural Nexus down here. I mean, it is closer than this base up here. But again, I wonder if, you know, I wonder about the safety thing. I guess against a Terran player, though, with Reapers, it doesn't really make a difference. It's better to have that closer base than a base that's blocked off by rocks. For a Terran player, I guess you could maybe take this base down here against Protoss early on. Though, I mean, again, there's always oracles and stuff flying around, so there's always the potential to break through the rocks as well, so... We do see this Reaper just moving around, going to start picking away at a couple of probes here and there. Oh no! Oh, he gets surrounded, then unsurrounds, and then he ends up losing the Reaper anyway. A little bit of a shame there to lose that Reaper so early on for Cass. And, FightingFrog with this Mothership Core. I'll just be patrolling at the top of his ramp right now. Cass going to go into a couple of racks to follow this up, and this isn't usually the way you see TVP played out anymore. Usually nowadays we see TVP being played out in with kind of 1-1-1 openings with a combination of mines and Hellions and Medivacs early in the game to kind of wreak chaos on your Protoss opponent. That's not going to be the case for Cass. This game he's just going to go straight into his stim upgrades. He's going to go into his bio upgrades with stim, combat shields, and start building up a bio force from very early on. So for FightingFrog, he has to make sure he doesn't kind of skip too many units and just make sure he's going to have enough to defend when a potential bio push does come across the map. But I mean, obviously you'll have Photon Overcharge, but you know, you can pop Photon Overcharge and still lose like a bunch of workers at your natural if you don't have enough to stop the army. So that's going to be something he has to be careful of. A couple of sentries would work wonders to force field his opponent out of the natural for a little while, etc. I mean, there's not going to be super fast medevacs at all. In fact, we are going to see one very quick push from Cass, which is going to be with this concussive shells coming in, and he's got a Marauder on the way out, so he's going to be going for this very early push across the map, and this can, you know, start to kind of snowball a little bit for the Pros player. If he lets this do too much damage, then the follow-up attack with a very early stim could then do a lot of damage from Cass, and so on and so on. So this push across is going to look to try and pick off this first Stalker, maybe the second one too. Again, concussive shells is really going to help with that, but we'll see how it goes in the long run here. This army's starting to move across. Am I sure it's round about 256 and not best of 256? It says bumbs. Yes, I am. Imagine playing a best of 256. You get to like game 256 and it ends up as a draw, and you're like, well, what now? And it's like re-series or something. Maybe a little bit ridiculous. I think best of 69 is already a little bit too much. Moving forwards here, going to grab that sentry. There's already some good damage being done here and making his way in towards this mineral line. One worker, two workers killed off, and his stalkers is quite damaged and starting to get kind of pinned back here. So damage being taken by FightingFrog, a lot of mining time being lost, and a few more workers will just get targeted down. The stalker will just about survive. I think that was 3 workers in total, and a sentry, not quite the stalker, but also forced the foot on overcharge. So again, this follow-up attack from Cass can have a little bit of potential in it. FightingFrog, ooh, bringing his warp prism back home. That's not ideal, you know. If he had that across the map right now, a warp in could do a lot, because Cass did just throw away a lot of units in towards his natural expansion. You know, that damage which he did was not free. It's all based around kind of doing a little bit, and then the follow-up attack being strong because he slowed the Protoss down a little bit. But again, I mean, if the Protoss survives with a lot of units, counterattacks are very potent. FightingFrog, is he actually just waiting for a Colossus drop? I think he might be, because he's waiting around with this warp prism for a long, long time. Warps another sentry in here, and I really think he is going to pick up this Colossi and head across the map and try and get some damage done with this. And that's a little bit scary, and could be very interesting as well. Here comes the Colossus. Is he going to pick it up? Because again, this warp prism is just sat here right now. It's not really the best time to head across the map with your Colossus, though, when another couple of Marauders and Marines coming across here, and Stim is on the way. So I'm a little bit unsure right now. Again, this warp prism just sat around not doing anything. Or maybe he didn't mean to make a warp prism and just hasn't realized. I really don't know. He's having on 5 more gates, so maybe, I mean, it looks as though he wants to kind of, well, I mean, it's only 6 gates in total, so it's not that crazy. Photon overcharge popped here once again very quickly, and FightingFrog just going to sit back in this photon overcharge and just be safe for now. Cass going to fall back behind us, and back at home, 2 more racks on the way down, taking him to 5 in total. His first medevacs are going to be coming out shortly, and he's just getting built up in towards the very standard Bio-Terran mid-game. Combat shields on the way now, +1 on the way from the engineering bay as well. Pretty much everything you would expect to see is we're going to see him, you know, FightingFrog actually starting to move out into the middle of the map, and is he really going to be able to do much here? No medevacs, so this army has to be very careful. I think split up into a concave though. Cass should be able to just take this down. These Colossi are not invincible, and we're going to see that right now because one of them is going to fall very quickly. The force field's not good enough. The second set of force field's not good enough either, and Cass just absolutely demolishes this army in the middle of the map. The warp prism's not going to get a chance to do anything here, and Cass will advance forwards now. No photon overcharge because they were used up earlier on in this game. You see a few units being warped in, and they're actually on this warp prism though, which means there's going to be nothing at all to defend these units coming across the map. Concussive shells finish means that these Zealot will probably not even connect, and the Marauders could stim up this ramp and start taking down that Colossi if he would like to. And that's exactly what he's going to do, try and chase this. He splits up his units a little bit, and I think he might just not be able to grab it. Oh, he's going to get, oh no, he doesn't. 1 hit away from death, just doesn't get the Colossus kill. And, well, FightingFrog will defend. He sends his warp prism in towards the natural here. Cass has plenty of units in position, though. He'll be able to just pull these down to the low ground. And immediately there should be Cass cleaning this up. No problem at all. 2 free Zealots going to get picked off here. And nothing FightingFrog is doing right now is working out for him. Absolutely nothing at all. This couple of Zealots in this warp prism could come over here and maybe deny this third base for a little while. But FightingFrog's in a lot of trouble. He's got 1 Colossus left. It doesn't have any hit points on it. Okay, there's a second one. But Cass has already loaded up 4 medevacs of units. He's heading towards the main base. FightingFrog has no idea that this is happening. His Zealots and Sentries are going to be slow to respond to this. And this means he's probably almost destined to take damage at this point. A few units will come into position and take down Zealot 1, take down Zealot 2 in a couple of moments. And warp prism will just save that Zealot. But here we go, big boost in towards the main, and immediately now FightingFrog has to warp in to deal with this. He's warping in a lot of Zealots, but there's the stem, and already a lot of workers going down. These Zealots will just trade here. Cass splitting up his units a little bit to deny the splash damage of the Colossi as best he can. Nice little pick up there on 3 of these Marauders. And you know what? Cass is going to be able to lift up a lot of this. Just get away and get ready to go again in a few more moments' time. FightingFrog continues to take damage here. 18 workers killed throughout the game. He's on 37 probes to 53 SCVs. The third command center is about to finish up for Cass. And 2 more medevacs load up here. They're going to run right into this warp prism, which is warped in Zealots. So he's going to know exactly what's going on over here. I mean, at the same time, it's a nice scout for FightingFrog, who sees these 2 more medevacs coming across the map and looking to be aggressive. But this really is not good at all for Cass right now. Sorry, for FightingFrog right now. Cass is in a fantastic position. And he comes in, he gets a few more workers before these Colossi get in range. Cass can just lift up and leave once again if he would like. keep these units as a threat, as now he drops into the natural. And again, there's just nothing here for his opponent. The warpings just got used in the main base / at the third of his opponent, and FightingFrog is now down to 22 workers, 20 now. He's about to fall down below the 20 mark, and Cass doesn't lose a single unit while doing that drop with these two medevacs at the natural. We'll group up with the medevacs behind the main base, and again, that's always going to be a threat. He's going to have to deal with a bunker here, going to allow these units. Nice little bit of control there by Cass, pops some units out on the other side. This bunker will fall, and Cass is slowly but surely going to struggle to deal with this, but he will be able to deal with this. Big attack on the way across the map from FightingFrog. He's basically got one opportunity to win this game with one big attack coming across here, looking to see what he might be able to achieve. And these medevacs going to pop back into the main base, and with nothing in the main base, this is just going to be a base trade. Force field on the ramp will actually stop Cass from getting down here to defend, but all he has to do is kind of rally into his main, and he should be fine. There should be no way FightingFrog should be able to do anything about this at all. Gateway going to get taken down over here. More workers being killed. Only 8 workers left on the map for FightingFrog. He really does look to kind of be kind of down and out right now. Another force field being used here. There's not that much anti. I mean, okay, there's sentries, but they're not the fastest DPS, although there is a lot of them. So I guess you can slowly but surely take down these Vikings, but I think the Vikings are just going to be in too high a number. They're just going to slowly work their way against the Colossi. Once the Colossi are gone, I mean, Cass is going to have no problem at all dealing with the rest of this. He's down to 30 SCVs of his own, which isn't great. Again, I mean, he is losing these. The scan comes down to see which of these Colossi hallucinate. We see the force fields coming down here. FightingFrog continues to just try and push through at the front, but it's just not going to be enough. And again, he's losing everything back at home at the same time. Cass takes game number 1 of this best of 3. Guys, we're going to be jumping into game 2 of this BO3 in just a few moments' time. FightingFrog versus Cass. Just going to get our invite for this and get ready to go. So, gonna invite him to game 2 of this best of 3. Wait, just gonna ask FightingFrog for invite, and we should be able to get going into this in just a few moments, guys. How is everyone doing? Thank you to everyone who's hitting that follow button on the stream, much appreciated, guys. Thank you very much for the support. Cactus Valley going to be map number 2, so one of the maps from our last series. Get an invite into this. It's going to be set up ready to go here in just a few moments' time. And we do have a little bit of a special shout out to Farflames, who actually donated yesterday. It said, for whatever reason, it said Trident Games when he donated, because that's his PayPal name or so. But his name is Farflames. I'm going to find, when I find my photo editing software, I will update that for you, Farflames. Thank you very much for another £2 donation. Much love. Have a heart. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much, man. And he does say, well, he said, my name is Farflame in the chat. Not sure why he used my PayPal name. That sucks. Anyway, thanks for casting. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. As we are loading into Cactus Valley here, if I can't get you uploaded, I'd like to update it now so that when we come out of this game, it'll be on the screen. So let's try and just do this very quickly. At least now I know you are Farflame, and so I can update you properly. There you go, Farflame. £2, like €3, so I'll just put €6 in. Not JPEG though, I want to save it as PNG. And then we're going to be jumping into this game number 2 of this best of 3. Cass leads 1-0 right now in this TVP, guys. Farflame, you'll be updated on the stream here in just a few moments' time. As here we go. So in the upper right corner of the map, we're going to have our orange Protoss player from Red Blood's Academy. Can he pull this back in this best of 3? It's going to be FightingFrog. And to the upper left corner of the map from Cascade, we're going to have Cass, the Red Terran player here, looking to see what he can do. Can he advance to the next round with a clean, simple 2Z? I'm sure that's what he'll be wanting. The WCS qualifiers are one hell of a run. You know, I have to go through a lot of games. I'm sure you just want nice, quick, easy games. Nothing to kind of, you know, stress you out too much. You know, the easier your run is, the more relaxed and calm and better you can play against your later opponents in the competition. We got some base trades in the chat from that little bit of a base trade we had in that last game. Good to see the base trade subscribers doing alive and well despite base trade not being online for like a week. It's probably like the longest base trade haven't been online for in like forever. Because of course they went to WCS, now they're on their way to Home Story Cup. Kind of a little bit crazy. Anyways, guys, how's everyone doing? We are just getting into the start of this TVP, and before we had our donation shout out, I was just going to say thank you very much to everyone who is hitting that follow button, and again, much appreciated, guys. Thank you for the support. Glad you guys are enjoying enough to consider coming back in the future. Again, if you're new to the stream, if you haven't tuned in much in the past, I'm a full-time StarCraft 2 streamer now, so I'm streaming content pretty much every single day. This weekend when Home Story Cup's on, I'm going to work on a couple of other things, updating the website and stuff like that. But we'll be doing the WCS America qualifier tomorrow. So if you're enjoying it, if you want, kind of the first time you've heard of me, first time you're hearing it, but you're enjoying it, hit follow, see when I'm live again in the future and stuff like that. And of course, if you're really enjoying it and you want to support me being full time and want to help me out, you can subscribe to the channel as well. There's a bunch of benefits which Moobot will keep telling you about in the chat every few minutes as he spams away there. Alright guys, so early on in this game on Cactus Valley, we're just going to have a Reaper opening from Cass, a single gas expand from FightingFrog, although an SCV on the way across the map might put a little bit of a spanner in the works here, although he's going to run past the natural and not see the probe down there just yet. And so FightingFrog should be able to cancel this out and pop down that Nexus nice and quickly. So no worries at all there. Cass finds his opponent, sees that one of these gases is not taken right now, and that's just about to be taken, and from this, Cass will be able to pretty much figure out, okay, cool, I know exactly what sort of build you're going for, and as he leaves with this SCV, he will confirm that there's a Nexus down on the low ground. You'll see this in just a couple of minutes here, and there he goes, sees that Nexus coming down, so he knows what's up, and he is now jumping in towards that main base with the Reaper, and just going to sky around and see what's going on. Interested to see if he's just going to be, how many gases is he mining from? He is going to drop another barracks this time around, so slowing down his gas mining, just going to go into barracks once again here, not the factory. Loses the Reaper, getting a little bit greedy there, trying to grab a worker kill. Wasn't quite able to, and it cost him his Reaper. And that's a little bit detrimental, because that means he's going to lose a lot of his scouting here as the game continues. He's not going to be able to kind of confirm what tech tree FightingFrog is going to be going for, and stuff like that. So that's a little bit of a nuisance, and that's why you would really like to keep this Reaper alive throughout the early stages of the game, because being able to see what your opponent's up to pretty much makes you safe. And if you can survive into the mid-game, that's where the Terran player will shine. That's when he gets the medevacs, that's when the stim bio's out, and that's when he can start dropping all over the place, being very annoying, and really putting the pressure on the Protoss player. Early on, is the Protoss player who can apply pressure, and who can really change things up, and that is a Twilight Council on the way down. And again, there's no way for Cass to scout this without expanding a scan here early on. Alright, a couple more Marines popping out and coming down to the low ground here. That Twilight Council on the way, and we do see a faster factory this time around from Cass, and this is going to be it's going to land on the factory. Ooh, what is this? This is a little bit different. I was going to say this is some kind of it's kind of like, I thought it was just going to be kind of 2 racks into very quick medevacs, so he has kind of like 16-ish supply of units to go into their medevacs and fly across the map and drop very quickly with stim. But in fact, he's actually going to start reactoring out mines, and this could make for a very strong timing, I guess. If he goes for kind of a timing with kind of a few mines and kind of stimmed Marauder Marine, he could actually probably do quite a lot pushing across the map. So Cass really changing things up here in these early games of the qualifier. And, well, just going to be waiting to see what the next move will be here. There's a lot of gateways being added on for our Protoss player, and the lack of gases at the natural is also very indicative now of the fact that this is going to probably be a Blink all-in coming in from FightingFrog in the next few moments. Blink halfway done in that research, and if not all-in, a lot of pressure, because 5 gateways with no other tech other than the Twilight Council, you know, you're going to be making a lot of Blink Stalkers. But I'm not sure how much I like this based on the build Cass is doing. Although that being said, if he warps in 5 Stalkers now and deals with this attack very quickly, he's going to be in a fantastic position. Cass doesn't really know what's going on. Did he scan here at all? He did. I don't think he did actually, and so he hasn't seen his Twilight Councils, but he's just building safety turrets just in case. FightingFrog warps in on the wrong side of the map, which means that, well, there is phone overcharge available, and he's got a Forge on the way, which will be able to act as his detection against these Widow Mines, as this little bit of an army comes in from Cass. Now, this means that Cass isn't really in position to defend, you know, on the other side of the map, as a couple of probes get pulled away, and that was actually really nice. Only 2 workers killed off here, and that was good so far by FightingFrog, who actually has so many stalkers at the front. Cass with a medevac popping out. I think he's going to... Oh no, and Cass loads up his units. Blinks forwards here. FightingFrog going to try and see what he can get done. This Widowmine's just going to get targeted down. Another Widowmine pops out. No detection on the other side of the map right now. But these SCVs have to be pulled away into the main base. And of course, Blink Stalkers, they can deal with Widowmines themselves anyways. Should probably start going after this command center. He's going to go up this ramp, force the Widowmines to go off. And there's the Blink away, but a little bit too soon. FightingFrog maybe a little bit afraid of what's going on right now. Marines trying to come back here. Oh, these Widowmines killed 3, and how many workers? 3 and 6. They got an extra 7 kills since that first push forwards there. This is a nice little bit of control by FightingFrog, making sure he traps kills off the forward Marines first, make sure to get rid of them. These stalkers moving forwards, and well, a couple of mines sitting tight on the high ground here. One's going to get blown up immediately, and there we go. That's exactly what we're going to see. The Stalkers just baiting away the Widowmine fire there. FightingFrog's in a fantastic position here in this game. He's going to continue opening Stalkers, and I think he's going to get to a position where he can legitimately just blink on top of these bunkers and probably kill off everything. He's going to go for it in a couple of moments here. He could bring his Mothership Core across the map, and use that as high ground vision, blink up here instead. That could be very effective. And I think now that the mine's off cooldown, I think this might be the time to just go forward as he's trying to again just set off those Widowmines. But I really feel as though just blink on top of these bunkers, I mean, okay, so maybe a little bit scary, but he's just got so many stalkers. Widowmine's going to be loaded up, and they're going to be sent across the map in this medevac, and that could get some damage done here. There's no cannon coming up in the main base just yet. Robo facility now on the way. FightingFrog just sitting down on the natural. Again, though, I mean, he has to make sure he's going to have enough units to deal with the kind of counter-attack from the Terran player once he does break out of this. And again, these Widowmines might slow down FightingFrog significantly as they're coming in towards his main base right now, looking to see what sort of damage he's going to be able to do. And here we go, 3 Widowmines going to start dropping in, and the photon cannon will now begin. The Widowmines are going to burrow. I don't think they're going to go off on anything important here. Nice blink away, actually. And he'll actually also just be able to kill off that medevac, so... FightingFrog's actually dealing with this very well. As this photon cannon comes up, he'll clean up these Widowmines without too much further issue. And just needs to make sure he continues to kind of sit in a nice position here, but Cass will break out now of his main base. And again, it's only Blink Stalkers right now, so FightingFrog has to be a little bit careful. Cass had a lot of time to build up this army. FightingFrog hits a bit of a supply block from losing that pylon. This cannon is not going to kill off these mines soon enough. He will lose a couple more workers here. And that's a little bit of a shame as these SCVs probes come back in. Widowmine just finishes up in time. 2 medevacs already heading in towards the main base. I really liked FightingFrog's position, but I feel as though he didn't take advantage of it. And now he doesn't really have anything to start dealing with these this drop play. He's got Mass Stalker, which, I mean, I know it's the answer to pretty much everything in PvZ, but in PvT not so much. And now he's going to lose his Robo facility as well. It's in a very droppable position on this left side of the base. And, I mean, Cass, he's just going to trade here because he can't really escape. And you can see the full medevac actually gets targeted down there. FightingFrog picking off a lot of units with this. But again, he's got no real follow-up. Does he have a second Robo? Oh my god, the Robo survived! Holy crap, wow, that's a big mistake from Cass. Letting that live here is a definite mistake. He's going to move across the map with his next wave of units right now. Do we have an observer right? I think we do, yes. So finally he's going to be able to start picking off these Widowmines a little bit more easily. And FightingFrog just going to sit back for now. Here we go across the map. Cass going to look to see what he can achieve right now. A couple of mines pull back, going to start chasing down this Marauder. And coming across here. Can Cass break his opponent right now? Again, it's just pure Blink Stalker. With some really good blinks, I definitely think he could. But FightingFrog's going into the wrong place right now. There's attacks coming in at the front. And that's not where his Stalkers are. Oh, is he just going to give them the Nexus? He has to fight this. He has to fight this right now, but I think he wasted a little bit too much time trying to move up that ramp for no real reason. And that Nexus is going to fall, but he's going to lose his medevacs, and that's actually going to be all the medevacs going down. Counterattack right now. I think that's the only way FightingFrog wins this, to go across the map. Cass smiles, realizing he lost a lot there. Oh my god, the Nexus is alive! Oh my god, I didn't even realize the Nexus survived! You know when you just assume something's dead? Oh my god, I was down here watching the story and I didn't realize the Nexus is still alive here. And FightingFrog is in a fantastic position. Not only has Robo survived here earlier on, and you know, just on kind of 13 hit points, but the Nexus also survived on like 34 hit points. And moving forwards now, nice blink away. He wants to try and get in here, deny this bunker. Just go in, go, before the bunker's ready, go! I believe in you, FightingFrog, I believe. Upset Cass, kill him. Let's do this. Let's have game number 3 coming in. As Cass moves forward, he's pulling his SCVs. FightingFrog is so afraid, but he really doesn't need to be. I really feel as though he's got enough to fight against this. as the SCV is getting pulled into this, so the worker count dropping dramatically for Cass, but he's just not got the units to really fight through these stalkers, even if the worker's tanking and doing the majority of the damage here. Blinking forwards with as much as he can. The Widowmine gets a good shot off and does weaken up this Immortal. FightingFrog keeps moving forwards here. He's going to be able to blink forwards. He's going to pick off these Marauders, and just a little bit too much went wrong for Cass in this game. A lot of snipes which didn't actually end up sniping anything. These stalkers need to start blinking away though. Cass is holding on here, and was FightingFrog maybe a little bit too overeager. Maybe I channeled for him in a little bit of the wrong way. A few years for Cass on the other side of the map do pick off this Nexus, and now FightingFrog, he is 38 probes to 19, but down a base. And of course Mule's on the map as well. These stalkers continue to try and hold on here as he blinks forwards, and he will be able to just about, so he actually brings the stalker back there to keep it alive. He does pick off that medevac. I feel as though FightingFrog didn't make the most of that engagement. He blinked forward with half his stalkers. Half the stalkers weren't in range to actually fight anymore. FightingFrog is actually in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have that much on me right now. He's building 2 Immortals at a time. Did he actually start a second Robo? Because he thought I don't know why. He's building 2 Immortals. I wonder if just a single Colossi would be better at this point. I'm not too sure. He's long distance mining right now, whereas Cass does have meals available to him. And so the economy for Cass isn't that bad, considering FightingFrog doesn't have a Nexus on his low ground. He's warping in units right now, realizing he needs something here. And still Widowmine's at the front, just picking off a stalker here and then. Every single unit matters so much right now for FightingFrog. And well, just watching the chat a little bit, and a lot of you guys laughing about the Robo facility. Just wait until you see that Nexus. Oh gosh. Cass moving across the map here, and honestly I think he has just a little bit too much for FightingFrog to really deal with. As here we go, he's going to start fighting Pops the Guardian Shield, but he just doesn't have enough. The Zealots can't get in range fast enough. The Widowmines are going to be disastrous here. GG's called. I really thought FightingFrog had enough to win this game. I really thought he had